My mop and go.
So today I'm headed to the Radwood 80s and 90s car show in Las Vegas with my podcast co-host Paul. Today I'm going purely as a spectator, mainly because all of my eligible vehicles have some sort of issues that I just haven't gotten around to yet. I always have a blast talking to everybody and hearing their stories about their 80s and 90s cars. Okay, off to Vegas. So we're here, the cars are rolling in. Yep. We've seen some amazing stuff so far.
The Subaru RXR that is sitting right over here. It is a K car from Japan, and it is awesome. And also the Honda Active that just pulled in.
I've had it 10 years, definitely a bucket list car from, my teen years. They started as Starion in Japan in 82.
Yeah.
82 is the first year.
Okay.
82 and a half. So the next year, the 83, they put the turbo on it. Chrysler in the 80s, they had 20 or 30% of Mitsubishi. They started importing the cars over in 85.
I've heard stories that maybe they're hard to maintain. Is that something that you found to be true, or can you dispel some myths?
No, that's not a myth.
Okay.
The engineering on the cars are very unique to these cars only. And I actually started working on cars. I didn't know anything about cars until I bought this car because I couldn't find anybody to fix it.
Work on it.
I bought a manual, a shop manual, and started tinkering with it. That's how I learned to work on cars.
It's pretty normal, average car. It's got a nice little rattle can paint job. I've got the CELICA wheels. I've got Cressida mirrors.
Okay.
I got a little mashup of things because whenever the old owner got the car, it actually had no mirrors at all. So I'm gonna get some Starlet mirrors to put on here. It's just got the stock engine, but I'm gonna swap it out with a 3S GE.
How long have you had the vehicle?
About 3 months.
3 months, all right.
3 months.
So you're just getting started with it then.
Yeah. I've just always been into 80s cars in general.
Yeah.
And then my friend, me and him were looking on Craigslist for like cars that I might want to get. And then one day I saw this car and I looked at it and I was like, I love it. It's so distinct. And I love it. It's my baby. I want to make it an autocross car. Do some racing with it. Hell yeah, there we go.
Awesome, man.
It's pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind owning this.
So this Acura here is a contender for the newly created Hello Road Awards at Radwood. There's no actual real award for this. I mean, you don't win anything, but maybe just our admiration, if that means anything.
It's always become a little bit of a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Like my uncle had this one. After he passed away, I went ahead, made an offer to his family to help out with some expenses.
How long have you had it then?
I've had this about 6 years.
Have you always been into Mercedes, or did you just sort of fall into this one?
Just for this one.
Yeah.
But then after this, I started getting into other Mercedes. I know owners with 500, 900,000 miles. And then they laugh at me when I tell them I only have 138. They're like, oh, you haven't even worn her in yet. I'm like, I know, I don't even have my first mileage badge or anything like that. It always has been sort of a daily driver for me. People always beep their horn at me, they'll wave. Just the way it sounds when you shut it.
Yep, it's got a nice sound to it.
Yeah, you don't get that sound in newer cars.
This car originally belonged to my second uncle. He got fed up with it, sold it to my aunt. It just kind of sat, they never used it, just didn't even start the engine or anything.
Yeah.
So in 2016, my uncle said, hey, if you want it, you can come take it for free. Just come get a tow truck. And I was like, yeah, of course.
So what was wrong with it?
Nothing really. They just stopped using it. This was in my school for like 7 months in our auto shop because I'm in an automotive program at my school.
Oh, cool.
We pretty much replaced most of the suspension and all the steering system pretty much.
Is this one of your first vehicles? Have you had other cars?
This is technically my first car that's actually under my name. The whole vibe I've been trying to go with it is like 90s style, like the reflective tape right here. In the 90s, street racers in Japan, if it was nighttime and they were racing, they would put reflective tape on their wheels so they know when a car's coming down the mountain. So like if someone's lights are shining, it's automatic right now. It's pretty sluggish, but eventually, of course, I'm gonna swap it out for the 5-speed from a GTS.
Well, I mean, that's great. You got it for free, and you've done a ton of work on it yourself. And
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a fun car to drive.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
great. It's really great.
All right, we're coming up on John's car, Bad Rabbit Habit on Instagram. This is something he's been working on. He bought this car 25 days ago. He bought it for $500, I believe, and he got it up and running in time for Radwood, drove it all the way from San Francisco Bay Area to Vegas. He had Radwood as the goal to get this car fixed and finished and driving, and looks like he did it. These wheels are great. I love them.
I saw the ad for it on Craigslist. It was just saying, yeah, it's a De Tomaso swapped Charade. Come down to 1,600 bucks. I got there, he was showing me everything. He's like, by the way, my name's Johnny Turbo. You can tell your friends you bought a car from Johnny Turbo. Had no idea what he was talking about. I went and looked it up. He worked for TurboGrafx and Sega back in the 90s.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he made their mascot, TurboGrafx Johnny Turbo.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
He bought this one new, and then when he was in Japan for something for Sega, I think he bought the De Tomaso and swapped it into here. Yeah, I still need to go get the transmission because it was supposed to have a 5-speed manual.
Okay, got it.
3-speed auto right now.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between what would have come in this car versus what's in here now?
Yeah, my original engine was a 1.3 liter 4-cylinder. There's a 1.6 liter, and it has new cams in it. It's pretty much the big difference.
Sure. So even with the automatic, it's pretty
zippy. Quick, especially considering how light it is.
Yes. You have a Daihatsu. You're one of like 4 people in the U.S. that owns a Daihatsu. Actually, 2 of the 4 people that own Daihatsus are standing right here. I think you need to do a best in show. Yeah. I think I'll do a best in show. We've got to pick another category. What's another good category we could have?
Most likely to take on a fun adventure across the United States.
That is a good one.
That's good.
Let's see what we can find.
Let's do it. For a car that I'd like to take on a cross-country trip, to me at least at this show, there's no question about it. The beautiful Mercedes. It is just in immaculate condition, and the best part about it, it's a 5-speed. Actually, I think it might be a 4-speed.
It's got a cage in case you want to keep your kids in the way back.
Yeah. This is my choice for what I'd love to take across the country. This would be my best in show.
Best in show right here. All right.
Gorgeous.
What would you pick for best in show car that you think would be the most likely to be taken on a cross-country road trip?
That one's actually easier.
And then coolest project car. Maybe paint's a little rough. Like,
my category.
Yeah. We've already taken a look at your car.
Yeah. No, it's a builder.
Yes. I think you're a solid contender for that category.
All right, so road trip car is definitely the 300 TE W124.
Okay.
100% auto, cruise, comfortable, quiet.
That's a good call.
It's a beautiful car.
Yep.
Builder. I'm really digging that MR2.
That is a nice MR2.
And that's like something totally rad to drive. It's 4AGE.
Yep.
Which, tugs at your heartstrings.
Yes, exactly.
Supercharged. It'll get out of its own way.
And I might be going Cosmo for best in show for me, just because I think it's a beautiful design. I don't know. I love how that car looks. It's a really, really beautiful car. You don't see as many Cosmos kicking around. So.
Best in show. That's such a hard one. The R30 Skyline. That thing's really good.
Yeah.
And I think they're really underappreciated.
That's a good call.
The big old graphics on it, that is so Radwood.
All right, so that's Radwood Vegas, and I think we saw some amazing stuff here.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think that's it. We should probably just end it with a montage of some more amazing cars. All right, see you later.